right. I'm going to call this meeting of the City of Franklin Fair Commission meeting September 25th, 2024 to order. Do the roll call. Ken Sweeney.
Here.
Let's see. John Trudeau. Dave Littner.
Here.
Wayne Hustad.
Here.
Dharma has a excuse. Lori Domzel. Here. Alderman Craig has an excuse. Alderwoman Michelle Eichmann.
Here.
City Clerk Shirley Roberts.
Here.
Deputy Clerk Maggie
Oh, she's not here.
here. And Angela Beyer, Health Officer. I
Here.
see you. Okay. And Rosemary Bosch is here. All right. Move on to number 2, citizen comment period. Is there anybody out there that would like to speak?
If I may, please.
Can you
Name and
speak
address
your
for the record?
name? Yes.
Ira Kresvik, 8810 South 51st Street, Franklin. Lifelong resident of Franklin, at least since 1971. Love the fair. But I have an idea that I wanted to pitch that may be a revenue source for you. Just so you know, I wouldn't benefit me personally at all. But would a carnival be of benefit to the fair at all? And I have some information, if I may.
Sure.
Share with
Mira,
you.
may I disclose something too?
Please.
If you don't mind. So Mira spent several years on the Civic Celebration Commission. We have since now moved her on to other boards and commissions within the city, but just to explain the background that she has of why she's presenting this today is what I'm assuming.
So
where it
here's
comes
an
from.
old copy,
Mm-hmm.
and then here is potential revenue for a number of days. I don't know what would be all involved with setup and tear down. You could maybe call if you were interested in it. And then there's some potential sites. There's my contact information if you wanted to further discuss, and that's all.
Okay. I thank you for bringing that forward. The only thing that is unique with this fair is you would need an area to do that.
Exactly, and I put down a couple of suggestions, and that's what those screenshots were. If you used a city street, because you know how there's some streets that feed into
Mhm.
that, it might be possible to block off just like a small area where there's no, like where there's fields on both sides,
Right.
or there's some possible considerations, like maybe renting from the church, or
We can take it under advisement, and that's all I
Thank you
can.
so
That's
much
all
for
I
your
can
time.
say. Thank you.
Thank
have a good night.
No Ferris wheels.
No, hold on. There used to be a carnival at
Yes.
there 20, 30
Yes.
years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that
I
St.
mean, they set
Martin
up all the
Tours?
rides.
Yeah, it was at the
That was
tours.
one of them.
Yeah.
Well, there's St. Martin's too. They also had one in the field next to your house.
Mm-hmm.
They had a carnival in there. And we had pony rides
Oh,
one
yeah,
too.
they did.
But, there isn't a lot of little kids, that's the thing. It doesn't seem like you get enough small
Okay.
kids.
And last year, didn't they have it over down at the end of the fair across the street from the Lions? They had the bubble or
And the
bouncy
bubble-
house or
Yeah,
whatever.
the bouncy houses they had down there. Go along with that, what Kenny said. Years ago, they did have it, but the problem is, I don't know how replicable that.
That's more
that
revenue
fair
for
thing
whoever.
is accompanied. We've had trouble, we had to shut down a bunch of rides when we inspected them. I worked for the fire department,
Right.
and we went in there with the state, and they had to shut down a couple rides and stuff,
Understandable.
and everything.
That
So
particular-
I don't know,
That entity is what is used for the 4th of July.
okay.
But
And
that would go to
there would
whoever's
also be
renting.
costs that would be
To what?
incurred because the police department does request background checks on all of the employees.
Yeah, that's what the next thing I was gonna say, yeah. Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
St. Martin's got rid of their church festival at that time because,
It couldn't compete with the fair.
well, no, and they got too much when the fair closed, and they got too many unruly people or like biker people.
Oh, sorry.
So that's why they had a bunch of trouble one year, and Father said, we're not doing this anymore. He shut it down during the fair and didn't open it again.
And there was also a water type ride in front of the one across from Old Wagner's.
Okay.
They had, that was in there, and the gentleman that rented that space, I know I had talked to him after that, and he said there wasn't, people would drop off their kids and say, here's a whole mess of money, put my kid on the ride a few many times and never, didn't really want to come back for them.
I can totally see that happening. Then you go
Well,
find the
close to
parents
the
for
beer
beer
time.
time.
yeah.
So, all right,
I have some.
yes.
I was wondering if the fair hours
Can you
could
please-
be changed.
can you
Sue
please-
Mayor, 11241 West St. Martin's Road. But you know, the mayor, when he had the Indian people speaking, they wouldn't give their address, and he let them do that. So really, technically, I really don't have to give my address, but I will.
That was because they were minors, though.
Oh, and there's always a reason.
We can find you, Sue.
There's always a reason. I know.
We know.
Anyway, the fair hours, I think, should be changed. I don't know. On Sunday, it would give people a little more time at the end to break down. 9 o'clock, it's dark already on Sunday night. And I talked to a couple of vendor friends I have, that's the honey people, and, you know, they say by 7, no one's really buying anything. You know, they're either drinking or eating, correct. But if they could shave 1 hour off, at least it would still maybe be light. When, you know, because it's 9 o'clock when it closes. I mean, there's nobody there, you know, hardly. And there isn't,
There's still people there at the drinking, and if
Correct.
we close the one part an hour
you'd have
earlier,
to do it
we
all.
have to, yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understandable. But even the tent by me, there's nobody in there by then,
No,
almost.
we close
Correct,
by 7, we're usually closed by 7. You're
correct. I know
And we
that.
have to be closed by 8 anyhow, in an hour.
Correct, but there isn't any,
No.
you finish your stuff and you're done.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it might be something to look into. And then, with them having to move, the DPW guys having to move that stuff all, it would be an hour shaved off of a little bit of their time too. And in the morning, that 6 o'clock AM on Monday, we're not farmers anymore. There are no farmers. If you'd even up it 1 hour, 8 would be even better yet, but even if you upped it one hour to 7 o'clock.
I'd like the 7 because then people can get in easier, the vendors.
Correct, to put their stuff up.
Yeah. That would-
And it's dark at 6
Yeah.
o'clock.
There's no more farmers, yeah. We-
Correct, I mean, that could be changed
You
at
could
6
close
o'clock.
the road at 7 instead of 6.
Yes, yeah.
And-
because
I
that
think
was-
that's a very good
Yeah.
suggestion.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know about the 9 o'clock with Romies and.
Well, they don't
Wegmans.
have to, Romy's.
No, they don't have to
I mean,
close, the
well,
outside standing. right?
Now it's
Oh, I
the
would have
The
put
new
that.
roomies.
Now it's the
Oh,
double
I know.
barrel.
Oh, Wagner's, yeah.
Wagner's.
The old Wagner's, yeah. I know.
So,
I just think that it should be considered, because it's shaving another hour off of the police and fire,
yeah.
and DPW now, because you have to have all these extra guys for DPW. So it's a cost thing.
You know, 7 o'clock start to give the DPW more of its time to get their stuff done
Yeah.
too. They wouldn't have to start at 4 or 5. They
In
could
the
start.
morning.
I mean, I
an
talked
hour
to some
later.
vendors and like, it's dark. They would
Oh, there's
rather
nobody
have
there
it
at
where
6
it's-
o'clock anyway.
No.
They're there, but it's
They would
not.
rather have it a little bit to give them more time to get there, get set up and whatever, you know. I mean, they're friend vendors, so but I mean, I just asked them what they thought of it. So, and they made, all of them made out really well this year. It was perfect weather and, you know. But that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. All right. Then I guess we're going to close the citizen comment period and discuss any other new issues. Go on to number 4, or 3. Go
Can I
ahead.
just mention, I don't want to throw the name of the establishment out there in case I had it wrong, I'll double check with the mayor. But again, this year, and I believe it was the same one as last year, one of the restaurants slash bars had their restrooms closed to the public. They said they were suddenly out of order.
Depends on which one, because I talked to Nate today. And he
It was
said-
not Nate.
Okay, then I don't know who it was. I did not get a complaint on that. But he did have his open, so I know that's been
Yeah,
common in the
it was
past.
his.
Okay, so I don't know. They have to have restrooms open. If you can tell me who it is, I can talk to them and make sure they have their restrooms open. If it's a food service place, yep, then I will.
I get two of them sometimes mixed up, and I want to throw out the wrong name just in
Okay.
case, so I will double check. And just again, to stress
If
for
they're
next
serving
year, like,
food, if it's,
yeah, they were serving food.
then they have to have
We ate there.
restrooms open.
And we
I
bought there.
confirmed that with the state because of what happened with Romy's last year. And Nate said, I really can't have that many people in there. You can't get in and out of the building. It's a fire hazard and there's porta potties, but if you're serving food, you have to have the restrooms open. So, and I even forwarded him the email from the state, so it's for sure that they do if they're serving food.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know, we had 160 vendors.
160?
160, and we had 18 people that registered late, within that late period.
That last week.
Yeah. And we did take them up to,
So, question on that, was there, I mean, I know that there were a lot of people that were upset with the extra late fee, that they didn't know, they couldn't get in, they sent the permits in and forgot to sign it, or, you know, my dog ate my homework.
yeah. I was gonna say, they're all adults, they should be able to read.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty plain and simple.
How many did we have that were actually at the fair, had to get a permit?
How many at the fair?
Yes.
I think Maggie said you guys collected
One.
3.
Well, we did one.
I didn't do any.
Okay.
We did the
Agreed.
gentleman
I
from
wasn't there. I
Ohio.
think,
1, 2, 3. I think we had 4.
oh, you had 4?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
we had one.
Well, additional footage.
Additional
No.
footage, yeah.
From only
just permits.
any,
Permit.
2
Yeah.
additional, that they needed that they needed a
permit?
permit, period. One lady forgot, she really did, she forgot all about it. She didn't send it in because of the late fee thing, but, so it still cost her, she took it. Yeah, I think we had 2 on our side.
I think Maggie said there were 3 that they collected.
I had somebody say that it wasn't fair that they had a late fee, the same late fee at the fair as they would if they were a week late in getting the permit at City Hall.
Right, but if you remember when we were going through the rules, we
Mhm.
wanted that increased, and you guys did
Correct.
not want it, you wanted it left the same
For at least last year.
for this year.
Correct, for this
Yeah.
past
Yeah.
year.
I mean, if you want to increase that for the fair next year, I don't, you guys.
Right,
can
but I mean,
decide
that
what
would-
you want.
Give you guys a little, and hopefully get it out sooner to get everybody not to wait for the last minute, which if they do wait for the last.
We mailed them out in May. We mailed them out 2 days after the meeting. So that's plenty of time for people to,
Should be. But on that point, to everybody should be able to get their permits on time. Whether, you know, they're waiting for the weather, then you have to pay the extra
and if we
fee.
would get a permit in, we wouldn't have all the stuff. We would call them multiple times, email them multiple times. Some of them just never got back to us. So,
So then do I understand that the 18 late registered people never had a background check?
no, we did a background check while they were standing there. So we made them wait.
It's just the 3.
So those 3 vendors that paid on site never had a background check?
Correct.
Okay.
But you could take their information down. There's a police officer that walks around with you. He could radio that in,
Right.
that information. They could do it right there.
Was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we didn't know.
Because there is a police trailer there that
So they would have done a background check on those folks right there?
they could have,
They didn't.
but they didn't.
I guess that was never,
That was never.
I guess that was never, I don't know
Right.
that we were ever made aware of that. Okay.
Yeah. I was just made aware of that not that long ago.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah, good to know.
It seemed like some vendors, when we were walking around checking permits, who did I walk around with? I know Maggie, and did I walk around?
Yeah.
They rented space that was bigger than what they needed or smaller than what they needed. Like which was at the New Berlin Lions Club.
Yeah,
the
they
pull
had way
tabs.
too much
They had
space.
but they paid for way too much space, and they just had this little area. They thought it was depth, not width or something. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there because I was thinking all that wasted space that we planned out for, we could have maybe fit a couple more vendors in there and made more money. Is all I was thinking.
Yeah, I
But
had 2 that
that's
didn't
when they
show
get their
up.
permit.
You had 2 that didn't show.
Yeah, I mean, they came in for 50 years and didn't show up.
I had 2 that didn't show either, so. And 1 actually had his permit.
And you gotta have the people, you gotta have the vendors, or you won't have the people, so it's a little, next year it'll be straightened out. Anyway,
And we did have one homeowner that called and said that people that they rented the space to left stuff on their property. I said, well, you're gonna have to contact them. The
That's
city
them.
doesn't get involved in that. So,
I did have a question about the parking. Not all of those were sent, all the parking passes were sent off to all the homeowners, because I had 2 that told me they didn't get it and they wanted to park, and I said, well, I have no problem. I know you live down the street, but you should have gotten something in the mail.
We have the same list that we've done forever. We have that list, we have labels for them. It just goes to resident,
Mm-hmm.
that we don't have someone's name on it, so we have resident on it, so,
So maybe they tossed it
yeah, because it's.
thinking it was a water bill or something
Right,
else.
because, well, they don't do water bills, but it just gets mailed out to residents.
Okay, I didn't know it came out. I don't get one,
I've
so.
never gotten one in my mailbox.
I don't know if you are in that area. I'd have to look to see.
Well, she's definitely in
I'm
it.
She's in the area.
definitely in the area.
I don't know, I'd have to
Okay.
look, I don't.
Okay,
yeah,
we'll check,
we have-
because I have never, and I think I thought Ken
I
probably
didn't
got
get one
them
either.
all,
I don't think I got one either this year.
Really?
but I have never
I
gotten a
don't-
permit to
It's the
park.
same list that they've used
11241.
for.
Right, and
241.
A-
11241.
A and B.
41.
Thank you.
One, two.
It's a duplex, it's A and B.
and the person that told me is your neighbor across the street. So,
Oh, Karen?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll
I don't know if they usually do get one.
I don't know if the mail got mailed. That's my question.
I know there's only a certain perimeter that they ever mail them out to.
Oh,
so-
they would have always gotten it. They're right smack in the middle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know, like I said,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same list we've.
But I'm
used.
just saying, I've heard that,
Yeah.
that you do send, I have never gotten one.
Okay, I will look.
I don't need one, but
Well,
Good.
As I-
What have you got? Yeah.
yeah, but like I said, it's the
They
same
don't
list
do
that
anything.
they've used,
we come in the one-way
I
street.
think, for 26 years, so I don't think any of those houses have moved. You know what I mean? So, yeah, okay, I will check.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying that.
Yeah. And I don't know whoever determined the perimeter, I don't know, I was never involved in that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the same list we've used since
Back
I've been
in
here.
back in the day when it was originally issued out, it was whoever lived on St. Martin's Road, along the side roads. Anybody in that area that was locked in
Yeah.
was supposed to get it.
It's
That was the perimeter.
Yeah, it's the same list.
Yeah.
And it's an old list, you can tell by the type. So-
Remember going to all the meetings, so
Yeah, we just copied on the labels.
right.
But I'll have them check.
I have one thought of, I did notice walking up and down the fair that there were a lot of people that were sitting on the sidewalk. And I know that there's a bunch of the picnic tables, I know there's some over by me, but in the areas that are not rented or cannot be rented, like across the street of where Sue is, by Butsky's there is all that area there. Is there a way that we could possibly think about putting a picnic table or two, or over by the bike path where,
Well, when the city redid the road, they should have filled that in.
oh, believe me, that's a
Yeah,
whole
that's-
different
yeah.
aspect. I have a ditch, remember?
Well, and I don't think you could put.
You could.
But you could put a picnic table on the sidewalk
Yeah.
or something on that area over
You
there.
put it on the sidewalk.
Right, and then also where the bike path is going to Robinwood, something over there for people to sit.
Yeah, I don't know if they have extra tables, or they
Yeah,
would
we
have
got
to.
that
take
complaint.
it to, like,
Right.
We had that
parks,
complaint
because
at
the
our
parks are
beer
rented.
tent too.
So
We
I
let-
couldn't-
we had
There's
a
no
couple
place
little
for anybody to
tables.
sit.
We had, we got chairs around the bar.
Right.
And they said, what's.
They get halfway
We'd be able to
through.
get a picnic table in by us and stuff,
Yeah.
so.
I would
we're
have to
thinking
check
of
with
that.
DPW.
Oh, you guys want
It's
people
just a
sitting at
thought.
picnic tables there
the
drinking
only
beer.
thing
Well,
I
sure.
think is if they took them from the parks, but a lot of times the
Not
parks
just sitting
rented
there.
those
Right.
weekends, so
Okay.
they couldn't take them
Normally,
from the
they all
parks.
buy. I never see anybody
Yeah.
at least have a beer or something.
Those tables are heavy,
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they're heavy.
very heavy.
Yeah, I can check with Kevin, but I don't think they have any extra picnic tables
You
just
have to
sitting
use that
around.
real.
I mean, I know they put 4 down by me, so I didn't know how many, if there was any place else that it went.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
Over
can
by the
ask-
porta
I'll ask-
potties or, somewhere
Yeah.
on that aspect.
I'll ask Kevin.
The other thought I had as we were talking about placement of the porta potties and everything, I know we had talked about porta potties down by Romy's. I was thinking more if we could put some porta potties over by the school, because they have the parking. Because there's all the porta potties are over by the Lions Club at the other end, and there's nothing really on that end for parking. So people are parking or walking down North Cape, or walking and they want to use the bathroom. Nate's or Romy's is the first place they're going to hit if they're coming in that way. Because otherwise, the first porta potties are all the way down by me.
Right. They're along the fair road.
Correct.
Right.
Well, if you go in and you park over by the Lions Club, they're right there by the old hardware store. They're right on the outskirts of the start of the fair on that end.
Right.
So that's my only thought of trying to evenly more distribute where the porta potties are. Not trying to give more for Romies, but trying to.
So where would you want?
I was thinking, you know, you've got, if we could do something over by Country Dale.
In there?
Yes, because that would be
Just three,
on the
four,
grass.
Just 3, 4, maybe, I don't
Yeah,
know.
just-
Yeah.
On Country Dale's.
Yeah, on Country Dale's property, it would be easily accessible for them to,
Do they park cars at Country Dale?
yes,
Yeah.
the
Historical
whole,
Society.
back.
the whole front, the whole back.
The Historical Society.
Yes,
But even if they had 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Right.
They should
Yeah.
have some down on that end.
That really
of the
would
road.
make sense.
Oh, there's too many everywhere else.
Is there too many by Hurtis?
I don't remember how many, I know I
There's
have
a
like
lot.
There's a
14.
lot.
And there's a lot by us, and
Well,
You know,
they
they empty
need
them
the
on
ones by
Sunday
Lions
night.
Club needs them, but
I know, but
Right.
they
Could
empty
maybe
them
put
on
more
Sunday
in-
night. I
yeah.
don't think it's necessary to have quite so many. They could.
No, they
maybe take
definitely
some
need
of
that
them.
many by the Lions
Yeah,
Club
we gotta
because
have
they've
them.
had trouble.
We've
if
had
they
people
don't.
standing in line for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Monday it was 4 or 5 deep in our bar. The toilets were just packed up.
I didn't have that many in the line over by me, I know that.
They might
but-
have needed more between us and the village too.
Yeah.
Move some of the ones from Hurtis down in the middle.
So it's
I
just
would take
to
some from
rethink
Hurtis,
about
probably.
where all the porta potties are, that was my thought.
Well, I know they worked with the company and Kevin.
Right, I mean, I had a hand washing soap thing that was broken, that the water wouldn't stay in. And then we had somebody that had an accident in the handicap one.
DPW know.
Oh, yes,
Okay, so they
John
can
let
fix
him,
it?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
John let him know right then and there when we were told about it,
Yeah,
so,
okay.
to come in. They just came in and they locked it. That-
They just locked it?
Yes. DPW locked it until somebody could come in and fix.
Oh, okay, until someone came, okay, I thought the company came and just locked it.
No, DPW locked it.
I'm like, we got charged for it? Okay, okay.
And then this kind of goes hand in hand with the dumpster placement. I have 2 dumpsters in my field, and one of them wasn't even half full.
I
So
don't know who does.
I don't know if we could figure out if we could put a dumpster somewhere else. I mean, you've got, what, one down by you, Ken?
Yeah.
I had more farmers at one point in time, and we don't have the farmers anymore, as pointed out. So if cutting the cost means one less dumpster, I don't,
As long as the food vendors have enough to get rid of their
Right.
garbage, because I don't want to pile it.
well, in prior years, the city never came through and cleaned up every night. And now they take it away, they don't throw it all in the dumpster. They actually have a garbage truck that comes through and pulls it right away. So it's not sitting there. So,
Sorry, I have to head to Citizens Academy.
thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll have to talk to Kevin. I have never done any dumpster, so I'll have to ask. So you want one less dumpster by?
I don't think I need 2. I didn't have it last year, and I surely didn't need it this year. They didn't even have, neither one of them put together was half of a dumpster. So
On
one
Tuesday
dumpster
morning,
should
do
be
they
fine.
fill them up then? No.
No.
See, down
They
by
come-
me, I think they'd fill
They
them
come
up
with
Tuesday
trucks.
morning.
They come with a garbage truck and throw everything in.
Everything in the garbage truck.
Right.
Which, they threw, my cans were out, because it was Monday, Tuesday. They threw the recycle and the garbage in the same garbage truck. I know, but I think they could have left it, and the recycle people came through in the afternoon.
Well, our
I'm
recycling
a
never
big
comes through until
recycle
later,
person.
so.
And I went down there and sure they're empty right off the bat.
So you want me to talk to Kevin and say only one dumpster?
One dumpster down by me, if he thinks it should go somewhere else, I don't know where they would need it.
Okay. Okay, I'll let him know.
Skipping back up to 4, is there any updates or anything with the rules, or?
I make a motion that we start the fair at 7 o'clock on Monday morning. Instead of 6.
I'll say.
And that's seconded. All in
On
favor?
Monday. Yep.
On Monday?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Anybody opposed? Nobody?
And we take a look at like the end time, you know, we could look at that next year to see what's going on at 9 o'clock. You know what would be nice? To have, open the road up for vendors to leave after 7 o'clock. You can't come in, but at least the people that are stuck in there could leave.
Can't do that
7
with
o'clock
the
on
amount of
Sunday night.
people that there's still people out there
Okay.
walking around.
Police make the decision on that, don't they?
Yeah.
That's what the one police officer, when we had met a meeting a couple of years ago, somebody brought it up and they said, well, it depends on the traffic.
Yeah.
You know, if there's nothing, if it's completely dead, they'll open it up on Sunday.
Yeah, I would hope they would without giving somebody a ticket.
Yeah,
But use a little common sense.
yeah.
But I mean, I know that there are people walking.
We could
Down.
talk to the police and be a little lenient on that, you know, if it's a vendor and they want to get out and there's nobody there.
Yeah, but they can't if
They
there's,
can't.
you
I
can't
mean,
if there's people walking
Yeah,
around
they
and
won't
when
do
it's
it.
dark.
right.
Don't they have those cement barriers?
They do
Yeah, they
have the
do, but
cement.
he's saying to let the vendors go.
Right, but there's still
But they
cement.
can't.
They can't because there's
Yes,
cement
cement
barriers up on
barriers.
St. Martin's Road.
Correct.
On Forest Home.
Correct. And even if they move them and had somebody standing there, they can't be driving out with the traffic.
Yeah, all
You know,
right.
the vendors can't. So
Yeah,
it's either
that's-
got, the hour has to be changed or, you know, it can't be done.
Okay. Anything else with any other rules?
I don't think we have anything with the rules, I just was gonna add that we had a better year than other years, as far as issues with, facilities. We did 35 inspections, 7 of which had to have a follow-up, so come back and fix something, so that wasn't bad. One was on their last chance before we had to close them, but they fixed it, so they were good. We had 3 that we had to like limit some of their serving, but it wasn't anything major. They were all very agreeable. They understood, because they weren't licensed to do it. They just were adding stuff at the last minute. So, yeah. So we had a great year.
We did.
My only thing was that we've gotten a few people that stopped us about selling knives and stars or brass knuckles. And had the officers with us had said everything was great, and then I had this person come basically to my house and basically yell at my family members why this was being sold. And same exact thing, I think if the police officer says it's okay,
Right.
I don't see
State
why.
law changed, Mayor Nelson told me, I forgot how many years ago, he said that state law changed that they can sell that stuff now.
Yeah, they were talking something about if it can button snap or whatever, and I'm like,
And the police department would know.
right.
Yeah.
So
The only thing that I heard a little bit about was people that bought, like fake purses and fake,
perfumes.
like jerseys. Now, normally the police department would shut them down. Obviously that didn't, and they're not here to ask them about that.
They've shut them down in the past.
Yeah, I know they
Many
have
years
shut
ago,
down,
they shut
yes.
them down by us, just a couple of.
Yes.
They were
And
selling
I've
Harley
seen them
stuff or
shut
something.
them down.
Yep. They-
I don't know why that was not
Absolutely.
done this year.
Oh, I don't know where it was or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But someone said,
Well,
oh,
they
yeah.
shut them down, they confiscated it.
Yep.
Correct.
Loaded their
Yeah, that's
truck.
what they'll do,
Basement
yes.
full of it.
Yes,
Yep.
and, but they'll shut them down and then they'll
Yeah.
confiscate everything and take
They
it
can
to
still
them.
handcuffing the woman.
Yeah, so, I guess I thought maybe they would be here and I would ask the police officer, but I was going to approach the chief and ask him.
Okay, so that can be on our next
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah, because it definitely was counterfeit purses and counterfeit jerseys. So,
All right. I know we didn't have anybody walking up and down that I saw or heard of selling dogs, so I was very happy about that. No baby carriages with puppy dogs this year.
Did you take your signs down so you have them for next year?
I have 3. I think John was supposed to take the other ones down, so
Oh.
I have to see about, I think I've got one in my field, so
Okay.
see if the boys can take that
Yeah,
one
there
down.
was one on the corner, and I didn't notice.
John put them up, so John Trudeau put them up.
Loomis there,
Yeah,
by that car, I don't know if that
Yeah,
one's
that's usually
gone.
where we put it down. John
Yeah,
usually
I don't
puts it
know
up
if that
there.
one is gone, I just noticed it the other,
didn't
last
notice
week
it.
it was there.
yeah, last
Yeah.
week it was still up.
I noticed when I came back
from Burlington.
through that it was still in the corner. I'm like, I thought John was taking those down, so
Okay,
It was there last week.
so
Okay.
who's gonna house those, you then?
I can put them
Yeah,
up.
I don't know, I'm
John
just
usually,
asking,
John
so-
Trudeau usually puts them away. I have the 3 that Nate got that I was gonna put those
Okay.
away, so.
Okay, just if someone comes
Mhm.
next year and asks me.
Correct, where they are.
At that one time, where the signs are.
Yes.
And someone said that John had them, or Nate had them, and then Nate said, I don't have them, so.
Yeah.
Okay, just so they're all in the same spot.
Right,
Okay.
all right. Anything else?
Yeah, I just got something briefly. Maybe next time we have the fair meeting close to the fair, we can go over what you want us to do is, checking permits. I forgot, I think you called me or Maggie called me about some money they couldn't find and
Maggie
receipts and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, I figured it out.
Yeah, I bet, I forget. We do that once a year,
Right.
I've been on, around.
Right.
I forget which ones you want filled out, what you don't, and everything. I kind of apologize to her, I should have remembered.
That's okay.
But maybe the last meeting we had before the fair, you can just briefly what you want us
Right.
to give when we have to,
Yep.
add a permit, if they don't have a permit and we got to sell one to them
Yep.
and their footage, what receipts you want,
Okay.
what's wrong with the money.
Okay. Yep, sounds good.
So, I
We can
mean,
do that.
it don't have
Remind one of them
to, it
before
don't
the
have to
fair,
be
too.
long,
Yeah.
Just that I get
Refresher
reminded,
course.
yeah, I'm
Refresher
getting
course.
older in my minding like it used to
No,
be.
that's okay.
No, it was Maggie, because I came in like right after she called you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, it's right here, and she's like, what? I'm like, I know how you work
Yes.
from all the years, so,
Yeah.
but everything balanced out, so.
Yeah, that's what she said, and I said, if you want me to come in, I'll go over it with you and everything, but then you came in, yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Yeah,
Any-
do we pay for the dumpsters? I've never done anything with them, or does John's donate them?
I don't know.
I think they're figured in just like the,
I don't know.
Yeah, because I've never
Bathrooms are-
paid any bill for dumpsters.
oh
only
no?
the
I
restrooms, never.
don't know how it goes then.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think for civic celebration, I think John's donates.
Okay.
But-
Oh, if they're donating, then we'll move that one somewhere else down by ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Or
we
in
can
the
fill that
middle.
one up.
Yeah, but in the middle, you've got to find a homeowner that'll allow it to be in there.
Well, on the back side by that's where a lot of stuff is by the car tracks on the opposite side where that vacant, well, I shouldn't say vacant, but where that emptier lot is, where all the food stuff is. I yelled at them because they were walking all of the banana boxes over to the empty space by the Weeping Willow between me and the next person. And they were just piling it up on the, I'm like, you
Oh, there
can't
you
put
go.
it there.
Put a dumpster there.
Right, I said, you gotta walk over, well, I don't see a dumpster. I said, how do you not see a dumpster? It's a big green thing.
Okay, I'll have to ask Kevin. If
I don't remember what her name is. I used to know, Bruce used to own that property. I don't know who owns it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the willow is that you're talking about. So.
Oh, over by my end.
I gotta run.
Yeah, Kenny?
Yeah, that little
Over
triangle,
that little
yeah,
parking lot?
that little parking lot is.
Oh, okay, now I know where you're.
Yeah, but on the back side, if they could put something along the bike path.
I think we should have Sue Mayor on the commission.
Oh, yeah, no, Sue Mayor doesn't want to be there.
I make a motion.
I was thinking that during the meeting too.
All right, I gotta go. See you
Yeah,
guys.
Kenny.
I can.
But, yeah, so,
Yeah, I don't know who owns that property. You'd have to get permission from the owner, and then
well,
if something gets
technically,
damaged or.
if it's on the bike path, there's the 30 feet. I know that from.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think on the bike path. Isn't there like cattails on both sides? Or
No.
am I just thinking on the one
No,
side?
just on my side,
Just on
which
one
they don't
side.
even have the cattails. They came through and cut them all down along with my fence. So
Oh, okay.
30 feet, I know that.
Okay.
30 feet from the center line is completely all cut apart. So
Okay. Okay, I'll have to ask Kevin.
on that.
Yeah, like I said, I've never done anything with dumpsters.
All right, is there a next, something for a next meeting date or? motion?
What do you want? Let's see, when do we usually meet?
we have-
April?
Well, after April 15th would be nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what I was gonna say for you.
What time is it?
Wednesday.
23rd April.
23rd of April?
Wednesday,
It's a Wednesday.
1, 2, 3, that's the fourth Wednesday.
Does that
so-
give enough time
Zach-
to make changes to send out the new
Yeah,
rules?
we have to send them out that,
You sent them out, you said May?
yeah, we usually like to send them out the first week in May.
Above March then.
So could we do a meeting in January to talk about that stuff?
Yeah,
Sure.
All right.
that's fine with me.
January would work with me. Is there a date in January?
Either 22nd or 29th, if you want to keep it on a Wednesday.
I'm good for either one, so.
Yeah, I am too.
Me too.
Whatever.
22?
Yeah, make it the
January
22nd.
22nd?
Okay,
Does that
5:30?
work with
The city,
the city?
Yep.
Is there a motion?
I shall move. We have next meeting being
I'll second it.
January 22nd.
All those in favor of January 22nd for the next meeting date, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it.
And then what we'll do is we'll send you all by email the, the directions and the
Right.
rules and all of that, so you have time to look at it beforehand, and we'll change the time, the start time from 7 a.m. Then you guys will have to make a determination on the,
And that will give enough time for the common council to go through.
well, this doesn't have to go to council.
If we have
But
any,
not-
Oh,
for the
wait a minute.
if
time?
there's any
The time?
Sorry, I'm thinking, yes, that does have to go.
So if we
Sorry.
change that one from the 7 a.m. to and 6 p.m. on Monday, that has to go through common council. So can we have that
Yep,
done
so that
before?
would go to council then on February 4th.
There's no council meeting between now and then?
No, there is, but you said you're not gonna meet until January
Yeah.
22nd.
Right, but we just asked if we could get that so motioned.
Right, but are you gonna change the ending time as well?
That we're not sure of.
I think what she's saying is it might be easier just to take them all at once.
At one time, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
And that one being on there already, but take a look at the rules again before the next one.
okay.
I will as well, because I just don't know if we want to word something. And then if it goes in February, that'll be plenty of time.
That'll be plenty of time.
Okay.
The
Okay.
rule changes.
Yeah,
down.
Okay.
the meetings are the 4th and the 18th, but I think the election is the 18th, so we're probably gonna have to move the meeting to the 19th. It's always the day after the election. It's too much to do an election and the council. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
But that way they only have to take it once and they don't have to
Yeah.
discuss it.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Not that it's not important.
No,
Everybody's is important.
Get it?
We want to make Sue happy.
I just think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There is no
Agreed.
being
It does.
happy about it. Right there, and I see there's no people, and it's dark, and, I just think
Has
it
to
makes
do more
sense.
with there's no street lights anymore, or
Well, I know.
the
but
little
I mean,
ones that we have doesn't really do anything.
Like I said, the 6 o'clock, I'm glad they changed that, and the 9, there is nobody there anymore by 8, other than probably a few people, not this beer tent, they're, but
Yeah,
maybe
we're
somewhere,
close.
I had a lot in the parking lot yet at 8 o'clock at night.
Well,
so
yeah, but they were leaving.
they brought either that or.
They are walking. The vendor said nobody buys anything after 7 o'clock.
I will agree with that.
Okay, so they're sitting there waiting so that they can go home 2 hours.
They go though.
To me, it makes no sense.
The vendors do leave.
Well, if they can,
yeah,
but they can't
but-
get out with their,
Yeah, but if their cars aren't parked, they're leaving.
okay, and there again, there's no vendors, there's no people. Why are
Yep.
we keeping it till 9 o'clock?
But a
So
lot
I
of
walk
vendors
it, I
don't,
see that.
yeah, they
I was
don't,
gonna take pictures this
yeah.
year.
They don't wanna mess with lights and the whole bit, so it's kind of all got the,
Well, yeah, who does?
I do.
If there's nobody buying anymore,
Yeah.
they wanna go home. They've been there since 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they're like this this is what they do for a living. So
Yeah.
I
from
know that.
from place
But
to
I
place
want-
to
I
place.
think,
So
like McQuanico doesn't have hours till 9 o'clock. Their thing that they have, because it's dark. People go home. They start at like 8 or 9, and then they go till 6 o'clock or something, 6, 7. And people have made plenty of money.
Okay. Is there any permit?
So I'll send the rules out. Maybe I'll send them out, do you want me to send them out now, or would you rather me wait until closer to the January meeting?
I would probably send them out closer to January because
January,
everybody's going to
yeah.
forget where they are.
Yeah, I'll lose them or throw them out.
Why, I know some people
With your
want-
water bill.
I go through them all the time anyway, so I mean, I was looking
resident.
through them all.
No, I don't have a water bill. I got it done well. Yet. These 160 vendors, is that better than last year? Or about even, do you know, or just roughly? Because I know that you're gonna ask me that at the Lions Club, so.
I would have to look.
I think
That's
there's
all right.
more. I mean,
think
there
that
was
was
more.
I
on
think there
the-
was more too. Like we sold all our land down by Hurtis, all the things we had down there, all the spaces. Those were all sold this year. And other years we had trouble selling them. And just walking around down by us, I thought we had more.
There was more from Forced Home going to Romy's,
Yeah.
which has usually been completely open.
Usually that's, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's all right,
there
I'll tell
was.
them it was.
I can
No,
look
that's-
tomorrow and have
can't
Nikki
remember.
look
Oh,
and
you got it.
email you. Yeah, I
It's
just
not
looked-
that important.
I just looked for this year, I didn't look.
Yeah.
I think there were more.
I think
Yeah.
there were less
Just
food
by,
vendors.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe
less food
less
vendors.
but, yeah.
and a lot more people.
Yeah.
Last year with that heat.
Well, the
That
weather
heat
was-
Oh, the heat was.
Great weather.
You could not have asked for
No.
better weather.
No,
No, yeah,
both
perfect,
days
perfect,
74.
Yeah.
Tell
It was-
us, I
yeah.
mean, we should make about between 23 and 26,000 after the bills are paid. We still got some outstanding bills, so
Nice.
Monday was really bad, rough. I mean, we were 4 or 5 deep at times.
Yeah,
Couldn't keep
That's
up
good.
with the
That's
door
good.
price. Oh, yeah.
that's good, it's nothing.
Southbrook's announced they made $10,000.
Oh, yeah, they did
So
too
I'm
with the
sure
parking.
you guys.
Oh, yeah, with our parking,
Your
we had them back as far as roads
Yeah.
we could cut. That's why I was
I
appreciative.
was told that lots were full.
Oh, ours was full, yeah.
They were
I mean-
parking all the way down. Oh my gosh,
our
almost
lots
to
were-
Ross, and I was like,
I think
why
Monday our
would
lot
you
was full by
do
2
that?
o'clock.
Wow.
2 o'clock in the
The
afternoon.
lot
Because we
over
drive up that
where
way.
my office is, that one was not. But the
Ours
other
was.
two were close to.
Yeah, you
And like
couldn't
you
have
say,
asked for
Stonebrook
better
was
weather.
too.
That was what it was. It was
Yeah.
great weather.
I mean, they also filled, and
Yep.
he made an announcement during church, so I'm not saying something I don't know.
No,
And he
no.
said they made $10,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and they go one way, so I figure you guys made.
Oh, yeah,
pretty
we
close to
made
that,
lots
too.
of money. But,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I'll look at that list, the parking list that we sent out if it needs to be extended. But like I said, that's the same one we've
Okay.
used. I mean, they've probably used for over 20 years.
I did have one more thing about where they put the concrete barriers for the road closure. In prior years, when we first started this, they were all put kitty corner from my house where the county owns the property. They placed them there and then put them across the road. For some reason this year, they put them on from the stop sign going towards Romy's on that side. So myself, I couldn't have my vendors. I actually had to move them because the concrete barriers were right there on the road where they couldn't get into their spaces. And so that was actually on 2 of the corners. Usually they put them from whatever the corner going around the
So it was on your
intersection.
property?
It was on the side. It was on right behind the stop sign on Romy's side, and on this side of
Probably
Forest
figured
Home.
they put them in the right of way.
Yeah, they put them right.
Right, in the right of way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they've never done that in the past, and so when they came to set up their spots, we couldn't do anything. So,
Oh.
so I actually had to move them 30 feet down.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have to talk to Kevin.
So it was a good thing I didn't have that spot open.
Probably different guys bringing the stuff
Well, right.
out, and they didn't
It's
know.
never
Yeah,
been
I know
there.
I put in the right of way thinking, well, it's the right public right of way, you know what I mean?
But they usually put it on the grass. They didn't put it on the grass. They put it where the sidewalk is. So people couldn't even walk. That was the problem. It was right over the sidewalk.
Huh.
Okay, I'd have to ask.
So they usually put it on the opposite side where there is no
Maybe next year
sidewalk.
Kevin should be at this meeting, because there's a lot of questions for DPW.
I don't know if Kevin ever comes, I can't remember if Kevin's ever come to.
I never seen
Ask
him.
me.
Jerry
Never
Schaefer
seen
used
him.
to.
Jerry
but
Schaefer
Kevin's
came,
never.
but
Yeah.
Kevin, I haven't seen yet.
And maybe he would come if he was asked.
I'd
And
have
you
to look
wouldn't
to
have
see
to
who
be
else
asked.
sends, if he's on the list that sent, Maggie sends it to.
Anything else?
Agendas.
No.
But I can ask him to
Because I'm
attend.
sure he, an hour, what's an hour?
I'll get to it. Are we ready?
No, right, so.
Ready? I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Anybody opposed? Meeting is over.